Want to start an Etsy print-on-demand shop, but feel like every niche is already saturated? You're not wrong. Mugs for teachers, wedding shirts, and generic seasonal designs are everywhere. So today I'm going to show you 5 hidden print-on-demand niches with real selling power, but way less competition. These are shop ideas you can run with right now. We'll dive into why these ideas work, how you can niche down even further within each category, and which types of products would work best. Let's jump in. Our first niche is micro hobbies. People love wearing their hobbies and they're proud of niche interests, but the magic is in super niche hobbies. Hobby pride is evergreen, but super niche hobbies are underexplored in print on demand. Unlike yoga or reading, you don't see as many designs for bird watchers, mushroom foragers, roller skaters, rock climbers, or crocheters. So let's have a look at some micro hobby products that are doing well right now on Etsy. Like this t-shirt. This is a crochet themed t-shirt. It says I'll be in my office and then has these cute kind of doodle elements featuring crocheted items and tools around it. Really cute design. It is in 8 baskets right now, so that lets us know this is very much in demand. This t-shirt is aimed at the knitting community and is kind of cross-niched with Halloween or cozy season. It has these 3 little ghosts knitting together. Very, very cute. And this is in demand right now. 3 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. Another example of a micro hobby would be bird watching, and that's what this mug is aimed at. It just has really cute illustrations of all these different types of birds with leaves and foliage around it and the birds' names on it. And this has had 11 views in the last 24 hours. Another bird-related product is this really funny t-shirt. This is in that kind of simple text category that is doing super, super well on Etsy right now. These comfort colors tees with just a couple of simple words on them. And then this one is in the bird niche as well. It's in 5 baskets right now. And if we look at the EverBee stats on this, this is a very new listing. It's only been up for 6 months and has already had 114 sales with an average monthly revenue of about $478 with about 17 sales per month. So this is a very popular one. So that tells you this is a micro hobby that has really great potential on Etsy. Another micro hobby that does very, very well on Etsy is mushroom foraging. And this is a t-shirt aimed at that community. It's a mushroom shirt that just has an illustration of a bunch of different types of mushrooms, kind of in a collage type design. And this is currently in 20 plus baskets. So that's very much in demand right now. Another great print-on-demand product for mushroom foraging would be wall art, something like this, where there is tons of the different types of mushroom species all listed in this kind of vintage style poster. This is in demand right now. 3 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. And this has been around for a while. This listing is 45 months old, so again, not a new listing, but it's had over 6,000 sales with a monthly revenue of over $500 with 84 sales per month. And lastly, another really fun micro hobby would be roller skating. There does seem to be a revival of roller skating being a niche hobby or sport that people are really into again. And I think this shirt is really cool. It says Talk Derby to me. So anyone who's into like derby roller skating would identify with this shirt. And I think it's kind of like a funny take on this micro hobby. And this other roller skating themed t-shirt has also this kind of retro vibe to it, this kind of 70s look with a colorful roller skate and this kind of retro font to it. And this is in demand right now. 3 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. Our second niche is Zodiac and astrology products. Astrology is a huge seller on Etsy, but most shops just do generic zodiac signs. If you make it relatable and funny, you'll stand out. So it would be a good idea to focus on micro niches like zodiac humor or retro style astrology tees to avoid being too generic. Astrology tends to have a passionate audience due to the emotional resonance, and it's a highly giftable niche as well. This mug here is a great example of mixing astrology with humor. It says, "Sorry, I am a fire sign." And what I like about this too is it has kind of an unexpected graphic. Like instead of it being just a fire sign like a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, etc. symbol, it has a kind of more interesting image here of some lips that are on fire. So I think this is a really nice original take on the astrology niche. Another example of a mug in the astrology niche is this one. It is a bestseller right now and it's in 8 baskets currently. This one has a kind of illustration collage take on the theme where it has the sun sign and then a lot of really beautiful illustrations kind of scattered around. These are really pretty. I'll show you a couple more images here. There's some reviews, a couple of the different signs. So really beautiful illustrations here. And if we go into our EverBee stats here, this is 22 months old and it's already had over 1,600 sales with a monthly revenue of over $2,000 with an average of 37 sales per month. So this is a very popular product, and something like this would take a bit more effort to put into in terms of designing it, but those numbers show you this is a product that is very much in demand and I think highly giftable. This specific mug would be. Another example of a humorous take on the Zodiac niche is this t-shirt that says Leo AF, and I imagine that you could get this for all the different sun signs like Gemini AF, Pisces AF, etc. And this is currently a bestseller. And a very simple design to make, might I add. It really is just simple text on a Comfort Colors tee. And let's have a look at our EverBee stats on this. This is 27 months old with a total of just under 180 sales with a monthly revenue of over $600 with 37 sales per month. So very much in demand, and again, a highly giftable t-shirt. Here we have another best-selling t-shirt, but this one has more of a retro take and kind of a more generalized zodiac or astrology theme, meaning that it's not meant for any one specific sun sign. It's maybe more meant for people who are just into astrology and zodiac signs in general. It says Zodiac Academy with this cool kind of vintage astrological chart and says welcome to your awakening, and looks like there is a kind of celestial back print as well. So it kind of just fits into this more general zodiac boho celestial themed idea, and it's in 8 baskets right now. And if we look at our EverBee stats, this has only been up for 6 months, so a fairly new listing. It's had over 100 sales already with a monthly revenue of $852 with monthly sales of 22. Next, we have another t-shirt that takes a kind of humorous approach to zodiac signs. It says, "Sorry, I'm a water sign," with this really cool graphic of a woman kind of drowning in some wavy water here, which I think is just a really fun and original take on the zodiac sign niche. Again, it's not just a symbol of a water sign like a Pisces symbol or something like that. It's a more kind of interesting take on this niche. And lastly, we have another Zodiac t-shirt. This one is a bestseller right now. It says Leo and it has this kind of cool, really vintage looking graphic. I do believe that this is a PNG that you can purchase somewhere on Etsy or Creative Market or somewhere like that, because I have seen a lot of sellers sell this particular design for all the different zodiac signs. And whenever stores are selling these, they are quite popular, even though they are available in multiple stores. So that tells you something, this kind of super retro feel and take on the astrology and zodiac niche is probably a really good way to go. So this is in 9 baskets right now. And it's been up for 27 months with a total of 252 sales with a monthly revenue of $920 with 35 sales per month. Our next niche is feminist or women's empowerment. I love this niche. I'm a feminist myself and really resonate with a lot of designs in this category. This niche works because it creates a strong emotional connection for its target audience, which is not just women, by the way. Another strength of this niche is that there are a lot of women buying on Etsy, so there's a huge customer base for these types of designs. A tip for this niche is to focus on niche groups like moms, teachers, women in STEM, and creatives, rather than just generic girl boss products. This t-shirt here is a great example of a women's empowerment t-shirt cross niche with a Western theme. It says "the hell I won't" with this kind of cute sassy cowgirl graphic on it. It is a bestseller right now and it's in 20 plus baskets. Here's an example of mixing this niche with a humorous approach. This one says, "How hard can it be? Boys do it," with that kind of simple text design that is super popular right now on Etsy on these comfort color tees. This is a bestseller as well and is in 6 baskets right now. And if we look at our EverBee stats here, it's been up for 6 months, so pretty new listing. It's already had 100 sales with a monthly revenue of $935 with 47 sales per month. Pretty impressive for a new listing. Here we have another bestseller, which is a t-shirt that mixes women's empowerment with a kind of spooky season witchy theme. It says, "God forbid women have hobbies," with this kind of witchy graphic in the middle. So super cute and funny. This is in demand right now. 3 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. And as I said, is a bestseller right now. So I think that's a really smart idea to mix the spooky season, Halloween-y themed with women's empowerment. I think there's a huge audience for this type of design. Here we have another version of this simple text approach to this niche. It says, "Equal rights for others does not mean less rights for you. It's not pie," which is a famous Ruth Bader Ginsburg quote. And it just says RBG to credit her at the bottom there. This is a bestseller right now. It's in 13 baskets. And this has only been up for 4 months and has already had 42 sales with a monthly revenue of over $1,200 and about 38 sales per month. This is another example of women's empowerment mixed with a kind of witchy theme. It says, "They didn't burn witches, they burned women." And it has a list on the back of all these important dates in terms of women's rights. And I have seen a lot of different takes of this particular design with these dates on the back, and they tend to do really, really well no matter the design, but they usually have this kind of celestial boho graphic mixed with these words here. This is a bestseller. It's in demand. 6 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. And this has only been up for 4 months and already has 267 sales with a monthly revenue of over $1,500 with monthly sales sitting at 100 right now. I think coming up to Halloween and spooky season, this is probably selling super well for this shop. Here's another kind of humorous take on the niche. It says, "Girls will be girls." It's Medusa with the head of Perseus tea, and this is currently a bestseller. It's in demand. 2 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. And it's only been up for 4 months and has over 140 sales with a monthly revenue of over $800 with 54 sales per month. So this is really popular for quite a new listing. And lastly, we have another best-selling t-shirt here. I think t-shirts are pretty much the way to go in this niche. You could do wall art, tote bags, and mugs as well, but I'm seeing a lot of the bestsellers are mostly t-shirts. This one says, "Women don't owe you bleep," and it is an embroidered t-shirt, which you can do on sites like Printify and Printful offer embroidery options. And this basically just has the text and no other graphic, which I really like the simplicity of this. Again, this is a bestseller. 2 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. This has been up for 14 months, so just over a year. It's already had 492 sales and a monthly revenue of over $300. Our next niche is retro vibes or throwback culture. Gen Z and millennials are obsessed with old school tech like cassette tapes, VHS, Polaroids, etc. 80s, 90s, and 2000s nostalgia designs are evergreen, and nostalgia sells because it's emotional. People want products that remind them of childhood, 90s or 2000s school days, or just certain cultural vibes. This tee here is a great example of this kind of throwback culture aesthetic. It features a cassette tape with a pencil put through it. That's what we used to have to do back in the day to get our tape back into the cassette. And this is currently in 6 baskets right now, so it is in demand. Here's another take on this kind of retro idea with this vintage looking illustration of 3 ducks flying out of a swamp here, and this is the kind of graphic that you would have seen back in like the 80s and 90s on a lot of t-shirts, and it's really making a huge comeback today. People really want this retro 90s aesthetic on their t-shirts, and you can see this is a bestseller right now. It's in 17 baskets. And this is a pretty new listing. It's only been up for 3 months and already had 39 sales with a monthly revenue of just under $600. Here's another take on this kind of 90s retro feel on a t-shirt, featuring this kind of scribble design that you used to see everywhere in the 80s and 90s. I think it's mostly on coffee cups. Let me know in the comments if I'm right about that, but it just certainly has that immediately recognizable retro feel from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. And this is a bestseller as well. It's currently in 16 baskets. And it's a pretty new listing. It's only been up for 3 months, but it's already had 12 sales and bringing in $468 in monthly revenue. This best-selling tee features a focus on muscle cars, so this kind of nostalgic take on muscle cars sitting outside of a old school diner. And I really like this graphic quite a bit. It's a bestseller. It's in 12 baskets right now. And it's a really new listing. It's only been up for 2 months and has already brought in $300 a month revenue for this seller. Here we have a variation of a design that I've seen quite a bit. It says, "Please be patient with me. I'm from the 1900s," and it has this cart and horse kind of graphic here. This is a bestseller. It's in 17 baskets. And this listing has been up for 14 months with over 200 sales and a monthly revenue of $439 with about 26 sales per month. And again, I've seen a lot of different variations of this. I quite like this one because it has this kind of video game font with it as well. But there's certainly a few ways you could approach this saying and put different types of graphics there. But I really like this kind of retro feel of this tee. Next, we have this vaporwave aesthetic tee, which I think is really funny and cute because it features this little kitten mixed with the vaporwave aesthetic. It is a bestseller right now and it's in demand. 2 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. This is a very new listing as well. It's only been up for 4 months and has already sold almost 50 sales with a monthly revenue of $1,257 with 37 sales per month. And this kind of throwback culture or retro feel design doesn't have to be just on t-shirts. It tends to do best on t-shirts, but it can certainly be applied to things like wall art as well, like this example here, which is a set of 3 prints with this kind of vaporwave 80s looking images. And this is a bestseller right now. It's in 20 plus baskets. It's a fairly new listing. It's been up for just over a year and has already had 63 sales with a monthly revenue of over $1,400 and about 11 sales per month. So you don't have to just put your retro designs on t-shirts. You can really use your imagination and think of other products these types of designs like vaporwave or 90s nostalgic designs could also apply to. Next up is food culture. Foodies and coffee lovers love to buy lifestyle merch that reflects their passion. Food and drink themes always sell, but niching down works best. So think wine moms, vegetarians, ramen, sourdough bread, craft beer geeks, espresso snobs. I think pairing this niche with a humorous approach works really well. And it can be applied to lots of different products like t-shirts, wall art, and tote bags. Here we have a bestseller that's mixing humor with the food culture niche. It just says "needs salt." And again, another one of these simple text designs on a Comfort Colors tee that is doing super well on Etsy right now. This is in demand. 2 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. And if we look at our EverBee stats, this is a brand new listing. It's only been up for 1 month and has already sold 10 times with a monthly revenue of $233. Here we have another bestseller. This time it is a retro fig design on a comfort color shirt again. This has this kind of watercolor illustration aesthetic to it, and it's in 20 plus baskets right now. If we look at our EverBee stats, this is a brand new listing. It's only been up for 2 months, already has 80 sales with just under $2,000 monthly revenue, with 78 sales already in those first 2 months. So I think these illustrations of fruit and vegetables, either in collage pattern or sometimes it's just one fig with some text over it, these are doing super, super well right now. This sweatshirt is aimed at the baking community. It says baking because murder is wrong. I do believe this is a PNG that you can purchase from a clip art or PNG seller here on Etsy or maybe on Creative Market, because I've seen this exact design in quite a few shops, which is something to keep in mind, but it does seem to sell really well for shops that are featuring it. So this is a bestseller right now. It's in 20 plus baskets. And this food culture niche doesn't have to be just on t-shirts or sweatshirts. I think it does really, really well for wall art or posters as well. This is a butter print with a kind of retro feel design of this woman diving into a stack of butter here. So it's kind of retro with humor and the foodie niche all combined, which I think is a really great way to go about this. It is a bestseller and it's in 20 plus baskets right now. Here we have another wall art print with the foodie culture mixed with humor and pet lovers, which I think is a really great way to go as well. It features a little cat looking over a table that's laden with pasta and fruits and veg and some wine here. This is a bestseller and it's currently in 20 plus baskets. Next, we have this one that is geared towards coffee lovers, and I think this would be a really smart sub niche to get into in the foodie culture area because, as we all know, coffee people are very passionate about their coffee, and I think this works especially well for t-shirts, yes, but certainly wall art as well, because people can put this in their kitchen, near their coffee station, etc. And this is an Etsy's pick right now. It features a cute illustration with this kind of fun handwritten font and an illustration of two people standing beneath the espresso drip, just ready to get their morning coffee. And this is in demand right now. 6 people have bought this in the last 24 hours, so that lets us know this is popular. And looking at our EverBee stats here, this has been up for 7 months with a total of 152 sales and almost $3,000 revenue in those 7 months, which is pretty impressive. So again, I think coffee culture will be a really great niche to get into. And lastly, we have this bestseller, which is a more kind of general take on foodie culture. It says chef was cute, would eat here again on a retro guest check. So this would be really great to have in someone's dining room or their kitchen, and a great gift for someone who really likes to cook or for someone to purchase for themselves to put in their own kitchen. But this is a bestseller right now and it's in demand. 2 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. If we look at our EverBee stats here, this has been up for 22 months, so not entirely new, but it's doing super well. It's already had over 3,200 sales and is bringing in a monthly revenue of $2,700 with 124 sales per month. So as you can see, foodie culture is a huge niche to get into on Etsy, and there's so many different ways you can approach this niche. And I do think whatever niche you get into, mixing a sense of humor with it is definitely the way to go. So there you have it, 5 hidden print-on-demand niches that actually sell. Let me know which of these niches interests you most in the comments. And if you want more ideas for print-on-demand products, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.